Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're embarking on, well, a really transformative journey. Learning a new language.
It definitely feels like a journey.
It does. It opens up whole new worlds, changes how you see things, connects you to cultures. It's amazing. And yet, it can also feel like climbing a huge mountain, maybe.
Yeah, maybe in sneakers sometimes.
Exactly. But, okay, don't worry. That's what we're here for today. We want to equip you for that climb. We're doing a deep dive into some really practical and honestly sometimes surprising strategies for mastering a new language. We're focusing on English today, using all the great insights you've shared.
Yeah, we've got quite the stack of notes here. Research, experiences.
We do. And the mission is to pull out the real gems, the nuggets of knowledge, the shortcuts maybe to being genuinely well-informed about what actually works, not just the obvious stuff.
Right.
Okay, let's get into it. I'm honestly really excited to unpack the finer points of how people actually get fluent.
And what's fascinating, I think, is seeing how these simple practices, things you might already do, can create this really powerful learning environment when you put them together strategically.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to try and connect those dots, show you how to leverage these different approaches for, maximum impact.
Yeah.
So you get not just the what, but the why behind it.
Love that, the why. Okay, so not just information, but actionable insights. And you said a powerful learning ecosystem. How did the sources show these different bits connecting? Let's start with listening, immersion through listening. A lot of us enjoy that already.
We do, and it's huge. The research really backs this up.
But it's not just background noise, is it?
No, exactly. That's the key thing from the sources about active listening,
Yeah.
really engaging, trying to pick out, say, grammar patterns or phrasal verbs you hear. Or maybe even pausing an audiobook and quickly summarizing what you just heard. It's about turning that input into focused data for your brain.
I see. So podcasts, audiobooks, great. But lean in, basically.
Exactly. Lean in. Don't just let it wash over you.
Right. And what about adding visuals,
Yeah.
like movies or TV?
Yeah, that came up a lot too. Watching movies or shows in English, especially with English subtitles on, super effective. It hits you through two senses at once, hearing and seeing. That really helps lock in new vocabulary and connects the sound of a word to how it looks. Good for pronunciation too.
And music. I saw notes on that. Seems almost too fun to be learning.
Right. But it works. Listening to songs in English, singing along is fantastic for pronunciation, picking up rhythm, and learning those casual phrases, the everyday stuff that, textbooks sometimes miss.
So my Spotify playlist is actually homework. I like it.
Well, kind of. The point is these are enjoyable things. They slot into your life easily. It feels less like study, more like just engaging with stuff you like.
Which makes it easier to stick with, I guess.
That's the core idea, building a sustainable habit.
Okay, so once you're kind of soaking in the language, the next step has to be actually using it, right? Getting it out.
Absolutely. Listening is crucial, but yeah, eventually you've got to speak.
And the sources definitely push for real-world conversations, finding language partners, maybe joining exchange programs, places where you have to actually talk to people.
Yeah, that interaction is irreplaceable.
Yeah.
There was another method highlighted that's really interesting and honestly super accessible.
Oh, yeah. What
Self-talk. Just talking to yourself in English.
Talking to yourself. Okay, I admit, when I first read that, I chuckled. It sounds a bit out there.
It does sound funny. I get it. But think about it. You can describe your day as you go through it. Narrate what you're doing. Okay, now I'm making coffee. Or even just read a book or article aloud to yourself.
Okay, sell me on the psychology here. What's the magic? Why does talking to yourself actually work?
Well, the real nugget there, as you called it, is that it trains your brain to start thinking directly in English. It helps you bypass that step where you're constantly translating back and forth in your head.
Okay, that mental translation loop, that's a killer for fluency.
Exactly. Self-talk is like a low-stakes practice ground. You're building the mental pathways for producing English spontaneously without the pressure of a conversation partner waiting for you.
Paving new roads in the brain, basically.
That's a great way to put it. Every time you consciously practice, even just muttering to yourself, you're strengthening that pathway, making it faster, smoother for English to just flow out.
Wow. Okay, I'm sold on self-talk. It's like a fluency superpower you can practice anywhere. What about sounding more, natural, refining the accent and flow?
Right. That brings us to another technique Shadowing.
Shadowing. Okay.
This is where you listen to a native speaker, maybe a short clip from a podcast or movie, and you repeat it immediately after them, like right on their heels.
They're not just repeating the words, but copying how they say it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You're trying to mimic everything, the intonation, the pauses, the rhythm, their musicality almost.
Like being their vocal shadow.
Exactly. It trains your mouth muscles, your ear, everything to produce the sounds and cadence of English more naturally. It builds that muscle memory for authentic pronunciation and flow. Really helps smooth out your speech.
Okay, that sounds intense, but effective. So we've covered getting the language in through listening, getting it out through speaking, even to yourself. What about the written word? Reading.
Yes, building that foundation. Reading came up consistently. Books, newspapers, online articles, whatever interests you, really.
And the advice was to start simple and work your way up?
Yeah, gradual progression. Start with things that feel manageable, maybe children's books or simplified news articles, and then slowly tackle more complex texts as you get more comfortable.
And I know you love stories. The sources specifically mention reading stories in English, right? As a good way to learn.
Oh, absolutely. Engaging with stories is fantastic. You pick up so much vocabulary naturally, and you see grammar rules actually being used in context, which makes them stick better, I think.
Yeah, it feels more intuitive.
But again, make it active reading. Don't just skim. Ask yourself questions. Try to guess what new words mean before you look them up. Engage with it.
Right. And reading gives you that space, doesn't it? You can pause, think, look things up, no pressure, like in a live chat.
Exactly. It's a controlled environment for boosting vocabulary and understanding structure at your own speed, like having a patient tutor on the page.
Okay, reading makes sense. Then there's the other side of writing, actually producing text yourself.
Crucial component. And the sources strongly suggested keeping a daily journal in English.
Just writing down thoughts, experiences.
Yep. Thoughts, what happened in your day, maybe summaries of articles you read or podcasts you listened to, anything really. The act of writing forces you to recall words and construct sentences. Active recall.
Active recall, right.
Yeah.
And I saw a neat kind of modern twist on this using social media.
Yes. Writing posts or comments online in English. It's a practical way to practice, often in a more informal style.
Which can be useful too, though maybe watch out for social media grammar sometimes.
True. It can be a bit flexible. But that informal practice is still valuable. The key is the active production through writing, whether it's a private journal or a public comment. It really cements things, helps you apply what you're learning.
Okay, so we've got these big action areas: listening, speaking, reading, writing. But what about the actual building blocks? You know, grammar and vocabulary. The sources didn't say ignore those, did they?
Definitely not. They were clear that even while you're learning naturally through all this immersion and practice, you still benefit from focusing on the fundamentals.
So grammar books aren't totally dead.
Not totally, but maybe used differently. While you're immersing yourself, you're picking up grammar implicitly. But the sources talked about focused grammar attention.
Meaning?
Like consciously noticing patterns when you read or listen. Oh, they used would there. Why? And then maybe after you've encountered it naturally, you do a quick check in a grammar guide or online.
Bridging the intuitive with the explicit knowledge.
Exactly. It reinforces what you're absorbing. And for vocabulary, it wasn't just learn lists of words.
No.
No, it was about active recall again and contextual learning. So learn a new word, fine. But immediately try to use it in your own sentence.
Yeah.
Maybe out loud, maybe in your journal.
Make it your own.
Right. Then revisit it strategically. Use flashcard apps or systems that use spaced repetition, showing you the word again just before you might forget it. It's a scientifically proven way to get words into long-term memory.
Spaced repetition. Okay, that's a good practical tip. And speaking of apps, modern tools definitely got to mention.
They did. For people who like structure or maybe need that extra nudge, apps like Duolingo, Babbel, Memrise, those kinds of things can be really useful.
How so? What's their main benefit?
Well, they often provide a clear, structured path. They make it easy to track progress. Plus, many use gamification points, levels, streaks, which can be motivating for some people.
Keep you coming back.
Yeah, and they often incorporate that spaced repetition for vocabulary, too. They're great as a supplement, a way to get some structured practice in easily, maybe on your commute or during a break.
Makes sense. A tool in the toolbox.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Listening, speaking, reading, writing, grammar, vocab, apps. If you had to pull it all together, what's the secret sauce, the one big takeaway?
If there's one overarching principle, one thing that connects everything and makes it all work, It's consistency.
Consistency, right. Every source seemed to hammer that home.
Absolutely. Making English learning a daily habit, even if it's just for 15 or 30 minutes. That commitment day after day is what leads to real, significant progress over time.
It's that Everest climb again, isn't it? Not one giant leap, but just keep taking steps every single day.
Precisely. It's the compound effect. Small, consistent efforts build on each other. They create momentum. It reinforces the learning much better than, say, one long, exhausting study session once a week.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Build it into your rhythm, make it sustainable.
Sustainable is the perfect word, not a chore, but just part of your day.
Okay, so there we have it. A pretty clear roadmap, I think, distilled from all those insights. It is multifaceted, no doubt about it. But combining these strategies, active listening, speaking, even to the cat, reading, writing, smart grammar and vocab work, maybe using an app and layering consistency over all of it.
That seems to be the path.
Yeah, it feels like a genuine way to understand what really works. Hopefully you listening feel, equipped now, not overwhelmed.
Definitely. And maybe one final thought to leave you with.
Yeah.
As you think about applying these things, consider not just what you practice each day, but how you can cultivate the actual enjoyment of it.
Find the fun.
Find the fun. How can you make those 15 or 30 minutes something you actually look forward to? Because honestly, when learning stops feeling like a task and starts feeling like a pleasure, that's when consistency becomes almost effortless.
And the journey becomes its own reward.
Exactly. That transforms the whole experience.
Yeah.